Shrestam Manam Vishvachiputram Atrasrupam Rupam Tasakraja Muripurim Maturim Voshvahim Radha Kunna Madhirivaram Ahoradika Umarvasam Bhakto Yasapatita Kritaya Sri Guruntam Purave Gaurachandaya Radhikaya Tadaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Bhaktaya Namo Anandalilamaya Vigrahaya Hema Bhagyavyatschari Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Bhakta Vihina Aparana Lakshan Chinta Sukhamakaram Kamali Viva Mahitvam Sharanam Prapanam Vinde Namaste Sharanara Vindam Vinde Namaste Sharanara Vindam Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey Satyji Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Shyam Sundar Shikha Smarahas Murali Manaya Radhikaras Kamama Kripanidhe Supriya Charna King Kurinku Tavai Vasmi Najivami Tayavana Tilikaya Devi Tam Namam Charanam. First of all, I have for myself spent time with Puspanjali. My heart's like flowers, thousands and thousands of times at the lotus feet of my holy master and supremely worshipful spiritual Gurudev. Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Ashtoda Rasata Sri Rupa Nugacharya Varya Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami. Secondly, I offer my pranam thousands of times at the lotus feet of my Param Gurudev to Srila Prabhupada and to all of our Sri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Parampara. And finally, I offer my pranam to Sripad Mukunda Prabhu and all the senior Vaishnavas and all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, Panchakapas, Upasu, Tulita Prabhu, Vaishnavibhyo Namo. Pibanti Jai Bhagavata Atmanam Pibanti Jai Bhagavata Atmanam Katamratam Sravana Puteshu Samvratam Sudyanti Te Vishya Vidushita Shayam Vratanti Tach Charna Saroruhantikam. In Srimad Bhagavatam it said, Pibanti ye Bhagavata Atmana Satam. Those persons who drink Katamritam Shravana Puteshu. The Katamrita, the nectar of Harikatha, through the holes of their ears. What kind of Katha is the Katamrita? Nectarian Katha. Bhagavata Atmata Satam. The Katha of Sri Krishna. And the Katha of the glories of the prema of his devotees. The beautiful, loving relationship between Sri Krishna and his Pran Priyatam, his most dear, especially gopis of Vrindavan, especially Radhika. This is the Kathamrita. Sravana Puteshu Sambratam. Those persons who will fill their ears with this Katha, drinking constantly. What will be the result? Shudyanti te Vishya Vidushita Ashayam. Ashay means our chitta, the innermost region of our heart, is filled with it is Vishaya Vidushita. That means Vidushita means polluted with many impressions of sense gratification, Vishaya Vidushit. Many lifetimes we have engaged in sense gratification. All those impressions are there in our subconscious mind, and they're just coming into our conscious mind one after another. And by this we become interested and impelled and attracted again to experience those sense objects. But by drinking, filling the holes of the ears with the nectarian Katha of Krishna and his devotees' love, then Shudyanti te Vishya Vidushitati. The heart becomes purified. All that, those samskars, they are washed away. And not only that, but Prajanti tat charna sororuhantikam. As one goes on listening, one arrives there at the tip of the toes of Krishna. Brajanti, they go charna sororuhantikam, to the tips of the toes of Brajandananda and Shyamasundar. Signed, sealed and delivered. This is the power of Harikatha. Don't doubt it for a minute. Those who are hearing with Shraddha, with faith, as they're listening, they become delivered there to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. So, our Goswamis have written so many very high and confidential shastras. Sometimes devotees, they try to enter into them. But there is a synergistic relationship between the poetry, the Rasa Kavya of our Goswamis and Srimad Bhagavatam. Without entering deeply into Srimad Bhagavatam, you cannot enter into the Kavya of our Goswamis. And then, after one has entered into Bhagavatam, then by entering into the Kavya of the Goswamis, one will come back and taste Bhagavatam again in a new way that was never experienced before. Jaha Bhagavata Pada Vaishnavayarasthani Ekantara Koro Chaitanya Charani. This is why it's necessary to take shelter of the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupanuga Vaishnavas, to really have some experience of this Rasamrita of Srimad Bhagavatam. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, especially 5 Geets are famous. And our Gurudev, he was, I think, perhaps the first person to introduce the international community of devotees to the Geets, beginning with Venu Geet. It was one of his first books. So there are 5 Geets in Srimad Bhagavatam, and it is essential, those devotees who want to enter into Raga Marg, they must hear them and become Avesh, absorbed in that Katha. So the first Geet is in chapter 21 of the 10th canto, that is called Venu Geet. The second Geet is Pranay Geet, yes. That is chapter 29. Then the third Geet is Gopi Geet, yes, chapter 31. Then the fourth Geet is Yugal Geet. Yugala Geet, chapter 35. And the final of the 5 Geets is Brahmar Geet, chapter 47. So I began this Katha in Miami. I'll make a summary a little bit, but in a different way. And then we'll continue. For for 2 days. First of all, Venugit. What is this Venugit? Each one of these Gits has its Vaishishta, its speciality. It's praying Vaishishta. The nature that praying is experienced and expressed in each Git is very, very different. So the speciality of Venugit is that the gopis are in the bhav, in the mood, the Vipalamba Rasa, separation mood, called Purvarag. Purvarag means the separation that lover and beloved feel when they have just fallen in love, but they did not actually have a chance to meet closely. This is Purvarag. Also, we see Shukadeva Goswami Pali saying, Tad Brajastriya Asrutya Venu Gita Smarodayam Kasit Paroksham Krishnasya Sosaki Byon Bhavaniyan. The Braj Gopis are in their homes, and Krishna has gone out to the meadows to take the cows to graze, and knowingly he's playing his flute. Don't think he's just playing the flute to call the cows. He has multiple intentions, and his primary intention is the udipana, to inflame the love in the hearts of Braja Gopis, because Krishna is also feeling Purvarag, both Vishaya and Ashray. So Tadvarajistri Asatya, when the gopis in their homes heard the sounds of Krishna's flute, Venu Gita Smarodayam, then Smara, the influence of Cupid, praying began to rise up in their hearts. And at that time, Kaschit Paroksham Krishnasya Swasakibhyam Bhavaniyan, they began to describe Swasaki to their own Sakis. So this is one speciality of this Venu Gita, that the gopis who are speaking, others are not there. They're in private groups, speaking only with their own Sakis. And another speciality is Kaschit Paroksham. Paroksham means indirectly. What they feel and what they're saying are not the same thing. They're feeling something and it's impelling them to speak. But as they speak, they're trying to hide what they're really feeling. So this is called Avvahit Bhav, the concealment of emotions. And it's very, very sweet. Extremely sweet. Because Raso Gupta Eva Rasatvam Apadyate. When rasa is hidden, it becomes more relishable. So Tadvarnaitam Arabda Smrantya Krishna Chestitam Nasakam Smaravegena Vikshipta Manaso Nripa. And as Braj Gopis in their private groups to their friends, trying to hide their feelings, began to speak to each other. Then, by the intense waves of love which were rising in their hearts, then they became gadgad, they became choked with emotion. And Vikshipta Manaso Nripa, they became distracted. That means they forgot. Who am I? Where am I? It means that Chita Hari Bangsidari, the sound of Sri Krishna's flute has stolen the hearts of Braja Gopis, and by Bhava Netra, that means by the eyes of ecstatic mood, though they are in their homes and Krishna is out at Govardhan, but they are there and they can see what he's doing by the eyes of Bhav. It's amazing. Gurudev once gave an example that there was one young man and he was a mother's boy. But tied to his mother's apron strings. But anyway, after some time in India, this Bengali mother, is very, very attached. So after some time, he went abroad to study. And he went to England and he was studying there. And he took a boat across the English Channel. But there was a storm. And in the storm, the boat was capsized and he was in the ocean, freezing cold at night with waves, and he was drowning. And he was just about to go under and he would drown. And all he could think of was, "Oh, Mama!" And then at the same moment, in India, his mother woke up. Oh, my son! This is true. What happened? What happened? Some or other, some lifeguards came and pulled him out and saved him. And then he wrote to his mother, oh, I thought I would die and I remembered you. He said, oh, yes, I know. Where there's love, there's some heart connection. If that's possible in this world, then what to speak of Braj Gopis? Who have prem, sneha, man, pranaya, rag, anurag. So though Krishna is in the fields and the gopis are in their homes, by the influence of prem, they can see. Danyasma mudda gatayopi arinya eta ya nanda nandana upatta vichitra vesham arkanya venu lanita saha krishna sara pujam dado pranayatam pujadadam virachitam pranayavalokam. One gopi saying, oh Saki, just look at these deer. The word eta means these. Here, it's tat, etat. Tat means that, and etat means this. So if something is far away, you say tat. Something is here, close by, you say etat. So, look at these deer right here. Are there any deer in the gopis' kitchen? Then why is she saying, Harinya eta these deer? Why? It indicates Bhav Netra, by the eyes of Bhav. Their love is bringing them, and they're having a spurti. What Krishna is doing now? Oh, Sakhi, look at these deer. They're mudha. Everyone says deer are foolish animals, but they may be foolish, but they are very fortunate. Dhanyasma. They are more fortunate than us. Why? Because when Krishna plays his flute, then the deer, whose nature is very shy, they give up their shyness and come out of the forest and approach Sri Krishna. And they have very big lotus eyes, and they're looking at Krishna, glancing with pranayavaloka. That means expressing their hearts and expressing pranay, feelings of oneness with Krishna through their glances. So this is Parokshavad. Why? Because gopis really want to say, oh, I am so unlucky, I am trapped here. Why can't I be like that deer and give up my dharma? Why can't I give up my fear and timidity like those deer? Why can't I go out to the forest and with my big lotus eyes give Krishna the pranayavaloka, loving glances, and express my heart through my glances? So this is seems like they're glorifying the deer, but actually they're hiding how they themselves, they want to Gopinam nayanut palatitanam go gopasanga vritam, worship the entire form of Sri Krishna from head to toe by the deeps of their loving glances. So this is the Parokshavad and Bhavanetra. Whereas gopis say, Vrindavanam Sakhi Bhavo Vitanoti Kirtin Yad Devaki Sutta Padam Pujalakta Lakshmi Govinda Venam Anamat Mayor Nitam Prakshadri Sanvaratanya Samasta Sattvam. O Sakhi, in the whole world, the best place is this Vrindavan. Why? Because this Vrindavan is decorated with the beautiful footprints of Sri Krishna which bear the marks of the lotus, the conch, the bow, and so many other auspicious signs. What is the meaning? Oh, Braj Gopis, they smear kumkum on their bodies, and they want that they should be decorated with those, the chakra, with the conch, and the bow, and everything, by holding Krishna's lotus feet on their heart. But they're telling, oh, Vrindavan is fortunate. Why? Because that's their desire to become fortunate like that. Govinda Venam. When Krishna plays his flute, the peacocks are coming and dancing. And all the animals gather around, they want to see, but it's so crowded, the small animals can't see over the bigger ones. So then they climb up Govardhan Hill. And then some others they can't see, so they go higher and higher and higher, so it's like a stadium, so everyone can see. And everyone's watching the astonishing dancing as a peacock is dancing for Krishna. But what does it mean? Oh, I wish that I could meet with Krishna and dance with Krishna in Rasalila. So this is the Venu Gita. There's some mystery in this Venu Gita. The mystery is this, that the sound of Sri Krishna's flute is not just a sound, but rather Badaram Maduram Badanam Maduram Nayanam Maduram Hasitam Maduram Hridayam Maduram Gamanam Maduram Madhuradipate Akilam Maduram. Krishna's lips are sweet, Krishna's face is sweet, Krishna's smile is sweet, Krishna's eyes are sweet, Krishna's heart is sweet, the way Krishna walks is sweet. Everything is sweet about Krishna, who is the emperor of sweetness. So gopis think that the entire body of Sri Krishna is the empire of sweetness. So if there's an empire, there should be an emperor. That emperor sits on a throne. So the throne of the empire of sweetness is Krishna's face. And the emperor sitting on the throne of all sweetness is his smile. Krishna's smile. All the power of all of Sri Krishna's sweetness has gathered together and is there in its most excellent, attractive and delicious concentrated form in the lips of Krishna. That's why this song begins Aduram Maduram. That starts there because that's the king, the emperor of everything. So Radhika's bhav is when she hears the sound of Krishna's flute. Smita kiran sukhu karpure paisi adaram mature se madhu matahi tribhuvane Bangsi chidra akashe Tharaguna shabde paise Dwani rupa payo parinave. The madhu, the shrikant, is more delicious when it's mixed with camphor. Right? If you put a little camphor in, then it's very, the fragrance is more, and the taste is more beautiful. So see, Krishna's lips are full of nectar, and when he smiles, his teeth shine, and the shine of his teeth is the camphor, cardboard. So now his smile has a fragrance. This is something it's difficult to appreciate in the material world. But in the spiritual world, things that are beautiful can have a fragrance also. The beauty has a fragrance also. Gopis speak about the fragrance of Krishna's glance. So it makes no sense in this world. But if someone has some anubhav, realization, they can relish it. So the kiran, the rays of Krishna's teeth, that is the camphor, it mixes with the madhu, with the honey of his lips. And that madhu makes the whole universe mad. The trees, the birds, the cows, it's described in Venu Gita. The rivers, everyone becomes mad. And when he puts the flute to his lips and he blows into the flute, then the nectar of his lips, Bangsi Chidra Akashe, enters into the Akash of the flute. And Akash is and Shabda is the gun of Akash, sound. And so the complete nectar of his entire sweetness, everything, Parinam, is transformed and becomes this sound. And then this sound travels everywhere and enters into the ears of Braj Gopis. Saki he Krishna Madhuya Amritera Sindhu Moramana Sanipati Sababite Korimati Durdaiva Vajanya De Ekabinu Deva Vaidya So when Radhika hears the sound of Sri Krishna's flute, she begins to experience all the madhurya of Sri Krishna's lips. And at that time, she said, "Oh Sakhi, the sweetness of Krishna is like Amrita Sindhu. It is like an endless ocean of nectar." And how am I? Mora mana sanipati. My mind is like a person with sanipat rog. Sanipat rog is a disease. And when you have this disease, you go through 10 stages. And when you get to the Dashami Dasha, the 10th stage of the disease, at that time, you're extremely hot and extremely thirsty. You are so thirsty, you're desperate. You need to drink something. But the problem is this: if you drink one drop, you will die. And so when the patient is crying, "Give me water, give me a drop of water," and the doctor's there and stopping everyone, don't give her anything, don't give her anything. So Radhika said, my heart becomes like that. In the Sanipat, I want to taste this whole ocean of Krishna's sweetness. Mora mana sanipati, sabipiti korimati. And I don't want a drop. I want to drink the whole ocean. Sabapiti korimati. My mind wants to drink the entire ocean of Krishna's sweetness. And I'm burning in thirst. But Durdaya Vaidya na de ekabindu. But my Daiva, my providence, my misfortune is like a wicked doctor who is stopping me and stopping everyone else. No, don't give her a drop, not one drop, not one drop. This is the mood of Venuri. Gopis are in their homes and like a sanipatrog, and desperate for the to taste the Krishna's sweetness, but they cannot. So in that state, Radhika is Ekasya sutameva lumpatinatim krishneti namaksharam sandrunmada param upayo anyasya bansikala Esha snigdha ganadyuti manasimeya lagna pate vikshanat Kastam dip purushatraera tirabun manye mritisrayasi. Lalita Sakhi tries to calm down Radhika by making a painting of Sri Krishna. And she puts the painting in front of Radhika. Then Radhika said, "Oh, alas, alas, it will be better for me to die." Why? Ekasyasu tameva lumpatimatim krishneti namaksharam. I have heard the name of someone. Krishneti namaksharam. And only hearing akshar, one syllable. Not Krishna. Only Krish. Only Krish. Then what happened? Then Mati, my intelligence, Lumpati, is destroyed completely. All my vivek, all my intelligence, I cannot think anymore. Only hearing Krish. Sangurmada paramparam uparyot anyasya bangsikala. And then there's another person. When I hear the sound of his flute, then Sangurmada paramparam. First my buddhi, my intelligence was destroyed, and then when I hear the sound of the flute, whatever's left of my mind, that becomes completely mad. Aisha snigdha ganajuti masanmela gnapate bhakshanat. And now I'm looking at this boy in this picture. And snigdha ganajuti means his sham complexion, like sapphire. Like ultraviolet sapphire, we cannot explain in any material example. Like a blue lotus, like a fresh rain cloud illuminated by lightning. The Shama duty is coming out from the picture and pervading me and pervading everything. I'm becoming mad, attracted to this boy in this picture. So custom dik purushatre pratirabun manye mitit srayasi. Alas, alas. Fire on me. Because a woman should only love her husband. But if she has attachment for another boy, then this is so terrible. But I am so unfortunate, I have become attached to 3 boys. Other than my husband. So it will be better for me to die. There's some mystery in this. something you should know. Rupa Goswami explained, Lokati Lokotara Padatanam Prabhava Kopyanagalaha Ratim Tad Vishayam Chaso Basate Turnam Ekada. It means that there are substances which are beyond this world, aprakrita, supernatural substances. Lokotara, what is beyond that world, padatanam, the padarthas, the things which are beyond this world. Prabhavaha kopyanagala, they have a prabhav, an influence which is anagal, that means unbolted. You know, if you keep your cows in a goshala and you put the bolt on the door, then they're there. But if it's anagala, you open the bolts, then they can go far, further and further. It's unlimited how far they may go. So the prabhav, that is the influence of the Loko Uttara Padartha, transcendental substances, has no limit to it. And if anyone who has praying comes in touch with the Loko Uttara Padartha, those divine substances, then Ratim Tadvishayam Chaso. It illuminates two things. Turnam Ekada. Turnam means immediately, and Ekada means together. So just by the touch of the transcendental object, immediately and at the same time, two things, Basate, Turnam Ekada, become manifest in the heart. What is that? Ratim Tad Vishayam. Rati, love, and the object of love also. So here, what is an example of the Lokottara Padartha? Krishna Nam. So the moment Radhika is touched by Krishna, then the love and also Krishna is manifest in her heart. Ekasya srutameva lumpati. It says lumpati. My intelligence is being destroyed right now. It's in the present tense. That indicates that as she is speaking, she's seeing that form of Krishna which is destroying her intelligence. Sandramada paramupaya anyasya bangsikala. And when I hear the sound of a flute, another Lokota Padartha, but different. So it's causing immediate spurti of Sri Krishna, but in a different way. So she's also saying Upanayati, also in the present tense. Means now she's seeing two forms of Krishna. And when she sees the form in the picture, now she's seeing three forms of Krishna. And she thinks, I've fallen in love with three persons. And she has like a Dasani Patruk. So she wrote a letter to Krishna, but Krishna rejected it. So then she was very sad. And she came on the bank of Jamuna. Akarunya Krishno yadi maitavaga katamidam mudama rodi me kuru paramamam uttarkritim ita tamalasye vihita bhujavalariryam ita brindaranyam chiram avichalam tistatitanum. Radhika said, coming on the bank of Jamuna with her Sakhi, Vishaka, Radhika took off her necklace and gave to her friend. Then Vishaka began to cry. Why? Because someone who is about to die distributes their valuables to their near and dear ones. So when Radhika gave her necklace, usually if Radhika would give a necklace or something, it's cause of happiness. But today she's giving the necklace and Vishaka is crying. Huh? So, because she can understand the mood of Radhika. So Radhika said, Akarunya Krishno yadima yatavaga katamidam. Hey Vishaka, if Krishna will not be kind to me, if Krishna will not meet with me, then you should not cry. Because it's not your fault. It's not because of you. But I ask you to do one thing. I want you to do Uttarakritim, my funeral ceremony. Then Vishaka is crying even more. But I want you to do my funeral ceremony in a special way. When I leave my body, I want you to take my body and wrap my arms around the tamal tree here on the bank of Jamuna, so I can stay here in Vrindavan forever. This bhav is purvarag, but something amazing. Why is that? Madanakya Mahabhav does not come in separation. Madanakya Mahabhav, the highest mood, comes in meeting, in yoga, at the time of yoga. Huh? But one of the symptoms of Madanakya Mahabhav is glorifying some object which is very, very tangentially or slightly related with Krishna. Not directly. If there's anything directly related with Krishna, like his flute or his garland, then in Madan Bhav, the Radhika will become envious of it. But if something has some far connection with Krishna, tangentially, then Radhika will glorify that. So because the tamal tree has a complexion that's somewhat similar to Krishna's complexion, so she thinks, oh, this tamal tree is glorious, a little bit like Krishna. So if I cannot attain him, at least let me embrace this tamal tree. This is the best I can do. After I have passed away. So here is a little smell of Madanakya Mahabhav. But it is in Purvarag, in separation. So this is called Madan Anksa Sparshi Mohanakya Mahabhav. It's a Mohan Bhav in separation, but it's a Madan Anksa Sparshi. It has a little touch of a drop of Madan in it. Like this. So when Radhika comes up into that stage, very high separation, Mohanakya Mahabhav, and even Madan Anksa Sparshi, then her prem is overflowing and spreading everywhere. This is called Yavadashray Vritti. Yavadashray Vritti, where the power of the love in the heart cannot be contained. And it spreads out and affects. It can, in this stage, the whole universe it can affect. That's called Brahmanda Shobha Karita. Everything in the universe becomes disturbed. So now we come to Venugit. Nadyas tada tadupadarya makunda gita avarta lakshita manobhava bhagnavega alinganasta gitamomi bhujamarare grinanti pada yugalam kamalopahara. One gopi is saying, oh Sakhi, when Sri Krishna plays his flute, then Jamuna river is flowing. But Jamuna is female, right? Jamuna Devi, she is a goddess. So when she hears the sound of Krishna's flute, she becomes very, very provoked with amorous desire. And so whirlpools of desire appear in the Jamuna. It's as if one young lady is trying to attract a young boy, then when he's walking past, she'll pick up a pot on her head like this, and then move her sari a little bit to the side so her belly button is showing. Busted. So, Gopi is saying, oh look at this. When Krishna comes on the back of Jamuna and he's playing his flute. Now look what Jamuna Devi is doing this. And showing the whirlpool means her navel. Stagitamomi Bhujamarare. And the whirlpool twists around the lotus stem and breaks the lotus from it. And then the waves of Jamuna carry the lotus and offer them at the feet of Krishna. So this we know. Now connected with what we were just saying, how Radhika has Sanipat Rog. She is so intensely thirsty for Krishna. She has Mohan Bhav with a Madan Angsa Sparshi Mohan Bhav, and her Yavadashray Vritti Bhav is spreading everywhere. The meaning of this verse, Nadyastada Tadupadaya Mukunda Gita, means when Krishna plays the flute, Radhika's separation goes so high that her Bhav is causing the disturbance in the Jamuna. The waves in the Jamuna are caused by Radhika's Yavadashray Vritti. Brahmanda Shobha Karita, the whole universe is disturbed. So then you see the verse of Venu Gita as a Radha Paksha, Radha's Mahima. Okay, it's the glories of Krishna's flute, but we prefer Radha Mahima. Purna Pulinda Urugaya Padabjaraga Shikunkumena Daitasta Namanditena Tad darshanam svarujas tenarushitena limpante anana kuchesu jos tadadim. One gopi is saying, oh Sakhi, the gopis are in their homes, but they see at Govardhan, there's some kumkum from the breast of some gopi that had been on Krishna's feet, and as he was going home, that was smeared on the grass, and he passed away by, Krishna passed by. Then some Pulindi girls, that means the Adivasi, Aborigine, tribal girls of the forest. They lived there, they're collecting some wood, and they saw some kumkum on the grass. So two of them, Mali and Bringi, are their names. So Mali and Bringi, they came, and they saw the kumkum, and only smelling it, their intense desire to meet with Krishna was aroused. And then they took the kumkum, and they, in a very kind of crude and primitive way, smeared it all over their faces, and all over their bodies. And all their desires became fulfilled by the touch of that kumkum. Why? Lokotara padatanam prabhava kopyanagala. We were just discussing that the transcendental, supernatural substances, they have unlimited power. Ratim tadvishayam, to awaken the love and the realization of the object of love also. So gopis are saying those Pulindi girls are very fortunate. Now, question comes, if Venu Geet is in Purvarag, separation from Krishna, before meeting, then how did this kumkum get on his feet? Understand? Yeah. How does Krishna have kumkum on his feet if this Venu Geet is in Amuna Purvarag, before meeting? It's a very valid question. So you see, in Braja, Radha Krishna are very young, very sweet. They want to follow Dharma, but this praying is too strong. Krishna's thinking, my mother is the Sati Shiromani. She's the crushed jewel of all chaste ladies. And my father, Nandu Baba, he's a sadhu. He's a sadhu. Everyone respects him as a great sadhu. And I am their son. So how is it possible that I have fallen in love with every gopi in Vrindavan? How is it possible? Krishna is so conflicted. He's very worried. He's very, very worried. What will everyone say? What will everyone think? It's Parakya mood. What will everyone say? What will everyone think? Krishna is very... And at the same time, Radharani say, it would be better that I should die. I've fallen in love with 3 persons. Vishaka said, don't worry, it's only 1 person. So we'll have 1 problem to do. So at that time, just like if there's a candle here and there's a candle there, and a breeze blows across the room, then what happens? Both of the candles flicker at the same time. So when Radhika is in her home and Krishna is in his home, but the wind of prem is blowing and both of them are fainting at the same time, because their hearts are connected. Sri Krishna thought what to do. So one day Sri Krishna went into the forest and he began to play on his flute. When the Braj Gopis heard it, they forgot everything. And they came running, and they came there, and they all surrounded Krishna. And Krishna was looking at all the beautiful gopis. And he's looking, where's Radhika? But Radhika wasn't there. Because when Radhika heard the flute, it was too much. She could not tolerate it, and she fainted. And she was unconscious for 2 prahars, 6 hours. When Krishna saw that all gopis had come, but Radhika had not come, then he changed his mind. He said, you are my Priyatama, most dear ones. Please don't lose faith in me. I have promised. You know when Krishna stole the cloth of Braj Gopis? He promised. Yatha bala brajam siddha meim rangshatakshapa yadu desha britam midam chora chatanam sati. O chaste ladies, that the reason for which you have done this vow, I know it. And now your sadhana is siddha, perfect. So I will fulfill your desire on these coming nights. So the gopis thought it was that day, but now Krishna said, I will. But please, now I played the flute and attracted you, it's daytime, it was daytime. And others may hear it and also be attracted and come here, and if they see us together, it will not be good. So you please return. So with great difficulty, with very great difficulty, gopis returned to their homes. But Radhika was unconscious. All her sakis, they're fanning her and trying to bring her to consciousness, but they failed. So Brinda Devi and Purnamasi came there. Purnamasi Devi told the sakis, you bring her to my Parna Kuti, to my kuti made of leaves in the forest, and I will see what I can do, how to revive the daughter of Vrishabhanu Maharaj. So then the sakis, they brought Radhika there and put her on a bed in the cottage of leaves of Purnamasi Devi. In the meantime, Purnamasi Devi told Madhumangal, oh my dear Madhumangal, bring Krishna. So then Madhumangal went running, and then he caught Krishna. Where are you taking it? Don't ask any questions. Madhumangal brought Krishna and brought him just outside the Parnakute where Radhika was lying unconscious on a bed of lotus petals. Purnamasi was there, so Krishna saw, oh, Bhagavati, Holy Mother, and he gave pranam to Purnamasi Devi. Purnamasi Devi, with her eyes indicated, what about this? What are you going to do about this? Krishna is very shy. He looked. What is that? Madhumangal said, when the cloud is in the sky, then the cloud may not know and others may not know that lightning is inside. But once the lightning jumps out, no one can deny it. Yeah? Meaning that this very beautiful golden Radhika is like lightning, as if she has come out of the heart of Krishna. And Krishna's who's that? I don't know. Krishna said, oh Bhagavati, please don't listen to this foolish person. He has a derangement of the life airs. He's just talking, doesn't know what he's saying. Purnamasi Devi said, she's in a very critical condition. And you are responsible. Me? She's responsible. He's deliberately playing his flute every day in a very charming way. He knows what he's doing. Me? Purnamasi Devi said, yes, you are responsible. And you will have to solve this situation. Oh, Holy Mother, what should I do? You will have to go and touch her. Oh, who? I don't want to disobey you because you are my senior. So I don't want to disobey you. But if I will touch her, it will be adharma. I am your senior. If I tell you to do it, then the adharma is with me, not you. Right? No? Once Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he was giving some katha. Before the class, he told his disciple, oh, you should make a seat next to me on the stage and you should keep one hookah there with ganja in it. Because one guest is coming and he gets restless if he can. So he can listen to the Harikatha without being disturbed. You just put one hookah right next to his seat. The disciple was, oh. But that person came and he was listening to Katha. And by hearing the Katha, he became completely purified and he left that and became a devotee. So, if a senior tells you to do something, the adharma is with them, not you. You have to follow. It's your dharma to follow seniors. So Purnamasi Devi said, I am senior, adharma is with me, you should follow what I say. Oh, I want to follow you, but can you give me another suggestion? There must be another way. You see, Krishna is scared. Yeah? He never touched any lady before. She's very worried. So then, Brinda Devi said, oh, come with me. So then, Madhumangal and Brinda Devi brought Krishna into the Parnakuti, into that hut of leaves. And then Marumanga receded into the distance, and Purnamasi also. Why? Because she's an older person, and Krishna is shy in front of a older person who has like Vatsalya bhav towards him. This rasa, Vatsalya and Madhura is not compatible. So Purnamasi disappeared and Marumanga disappeared, and Krishna and the Brinda Devi went inside. Brinda Devi gave a seat to sit down, right next to where Radhika was lying there. Oh, Krishna, you should take your hand and put on her heart. But Krishna's afraid to even look. He's so painfully shy. This is Purvarag. Understand? Purvarag. Krishna is very dharmic. He's from a very dharmic family. He's afraid to even look. Brinda Devi said, just look on her. Look at her. Her face is so beautiful that when the moon sees her face, the moon becomes embarrassed that I am not shiny. When Lakshmi Devi sees her face, she thinks, oh, I am not beautiful. When a mirror sees her face, then the mirror feels I have no reflection power. She's so beautiful. Just look on her once. Then Krishna, he looked. And so Radhika lying, she's unconscious, but tears are flowing. All sattvic bhavs. Trembling, hair stand on end. Why? Because she's a Mahabhav Swarup, the embodiment of all brain. When Krishna looked, he became so overwhelmed. His mind became stunned. He became stunned. He could not even think. And he was so stunned that it appeared to him that this was not Radhika. It was a golden statue made by Purnamasi just to test his reactions. Huh? You know? If the police are interrogating someone, they say, sit down. I want to show you some pictures. They're looking at the reaction. Krishna's thinking, they're doing pariksha. They're testing me. And he thinks, oh, it's a beautiful golden doll of Radhika, and they want to see my reactions. So then Brinda Devi said, you should touch her. Put your lotus foot on her heart. But Krishna was silent, could not move. So then Brinda Devi fell at the feet of Krishna. He was sitting there just next to Radhika, and she fell at his feet and said, oh Krishna, please, if you are not merciful to her, then what can I say about the hardness of your heart? But you should know, Brijbasis, everything that they do is a lie. Everything is a trick. The reason she bowed down was because she grabbed his foot and she put it on Radhika's heart. Oh Krishna! And the lotus foot of Sri Krishna touched the breast of Radhika. And the moment it touched her, then beautiful lotus eyes of Radhika, they began to flicker and then open. And the lotus eyes of Radhika, Krishna was reflected in her eyes, and Radhika was reflected in the eyes of Krishna, and they looked at each other very closely. And then Sri Krishna realized, hey Bhagavan, oh my God, it's not a statue. I touched a girl. And he was so embarrassed, he took his pitambar and put it over his head. And got up and he ran out from the Parnakutir. He quickly gave pranam to Purnamasi and he was trying to go, but his legs were wobbling. His legs were wobbling, so he had to put his hand on the shoulder of Madhu Mangal, and Madhu Mangal was laughing, and they went back off to meet the boys again. Then Radhika, who couldn't believe, she's in so much separation. She never got close to Krishna, and now she just opened her eyes and his lotus feet is on her heart. The very thing that she was thinking of. Vrindavanam Sakibhavo Vitano Diketam Yadevaki Padam Buddha Labda Lakshmi. Vrindavan is glorious, being touched by the feet of Krishna, by Parokshavad. Yeah? And now she opened her eyes. It's as if all her dreams became true in that moment. And then, the next second, Krishna is gone. So Radhika sat upon the bed and just broke down crying. She began to weep. And Brinda Devi consoled her and then took her to be with her Sakhis. After that, the Sakhis, they heard what happened. And they thought, how lucky Radhika is. We cannot express the ecstasy, the joy that Radharani felt in that second of her life. It was a historical moment for her. The first touch of Krishna. The joy she felt in that moment, no poets can express it. So there's one way of expressing something, it's called Kaimutik Nyai. The logic of Kim Uta. Kim means what and Uta means more. Kim Uta, what more? If you say, oh, this man is so strong, when he was 5 years old, he could lift 500 kg. So Kim Uta, that means how strong is he today? Now he's 4. So Kim Uta. You give a lower example, and then Kim Uta, that indicates, it points towards something which is inexpressible. So that's the meaning of this verse of Venugit. Purna Polinda Uragaya Padabjaraga. Oh Saki, the happiness Radhika felt in the first touch of Sri Krishna, I cannot express. So all I can say is, Purna Polinda Uragaya Padabjaraga. That at Govardhan, when the Pulindi girls were walking along, Krishna ran away with Madhumangal, that's when the kumkum got on the grass. The Pulindi girls came there, saw that kumkum, and they touched it, and only by the touch of that kumkum, they experienced the fulfillment of all their desires. So, Kim Uta, the Dwani, that means the suggestion of this verse is, Osaki, Kim Uta, what can I say about the happiness of Radhika in that moment? Cannot express it. And Kim Uta, the happiness that she felt is proportional to something. The separation she felt before. And then the separation that she feels after that happiness is proportional to the happiness she felt at that moment. So this verse, Puna Pulinda Udagai, means I cannot express not only the extent of the praying, the happiness that Radhika felt in that moment, but now in Purvarag, I cannot express the extent of the pain of separation Radhika is experiencing. Now Krishna quickly disappeared. Like this. So, this is the history and some of the bhavs, the ocean of nectar behind these verses, which are known as Venu Geet. We cannot touch all of them, I just want to give an idea of some speciality of each Geet. So now, we're coming to Pranay Geet. Remember, just in summary, Venu Geet is in Viyog. Viyog, separation, and the rasa is Purvarag. It is a Vipralamba rasa of separation before close meeting. The gopis are speaking only with their own groups, and the groups are in separate places. So now we're coming to Pranay Geet. Pranay Geet is completely different. Why? Because in Pranay Geet, it's in Yog. Krishna and Braj gopis are together. This is the first thing, how it's different. They're meeting. But, though they're in Yog meeting together, it is the rasa of separation. That is called Bhavi Viraha. Bhavi Viraha means, though lover and beloved are together, one of them, at least in this case, is feeling the anxiety of imminent or impending separation to come, just now. And the other thing that's different here is, the gopis are not in their homes, they're in the forest with Krishna, and they're not in separate groups. They're in their separate groups, but all the separate groups are together and standing around Krishna on all four sides. Swapaksh, Vipaksh, Tatastapaksh, Suritpaksh. 4 groups of gopis are on 4 sides of Krishna. But every side thinks that Krishna's looking towards them. Just like when Krishna takes lunch with the cowherd boys and they're all sitting around him. Right? Everyone thinks Krishna's talking to me. So they're all surrounded Krishna, but they all think he's speaking with them. So now, the background of this Pranay Geet is that after this experience, Sri Krishna finally decided, I will meet with Braj Gopis. Bhagavan Apitaratri. Sharadutfulla Mallika Viksharantam Manas Chakre Yogamayam Upasrita. Manas Chakre means Krishna made up his mind. Rantam, that I will enjoy. Raman, loving pastimes with Brajagopis. So he played upon his flute. Nishamya Geetam Tadananga Vardhanam Brajastriya Krishna Grihita Manasa Ajagmo Anyonyam Alakshit Udyama Sayatra Kanto Javalola Kundalaha. Shukadev Goswami Pad said that in the night time of the full moon of the Sharad season, Sri Krishna went into the forest of Vrindavan and began to play upon his flute. At that time, Nishamya Geetam Tadananga Vardhanam, hearing the sound of the flute, then the Ananga, the praying in the heart of gopis increased and increased so much. And this flute was like a thief. When the thief comes to steal, he doesn't come to the front door. He goes around to the side door. So this thief of Krishna's flute goes in the side door, the ears. And then he goes to the treasury room, to the heart, and there he stole. Gopis, the treasure of a chaste lady, dharmic lady, is lajja, shyness, dharya, patience, satitva, chastity, the fear, loklaja, fear of the elders and so on. So all these treasures, that sound of Krishna's flute, stole. You see, if there's a gang, if there's the head of a gang, a mob, then the leader of the gang never does the stealing. He sends his henchmen out to do it. So Krishna is the leader of the gang of thieves, and he sends his flute to go and do the stealing, and then the thief has to come and then bring all the treasures back to the boss. So see, the flute of Krishna, Krishna Grihita Manasa, taking all the treasures from the heart of Braj Gopis, then that flute sung, took them and brought them to Sri Krishna. And just as when someone's walking on the street and a pickpocket walks past and you feel your wallet go out of your pocket, then what do you do? Hey, come back, and you run after them. So when the gopis felt all the treasures of their heart being stolen by the flute, oh, stop! And they got up and they ran. Ajagmu Ayanyan Alokshitu Ujjama. They got up and without being seen by each other, 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 4 by 4, they ran. And they arrived there, Sayatra Kanta Javalola Kundala. They arrived there at the lotus feet of their beloved with their earrings. The earrings were shaking. Javalola Kundala. Why were the earrings shaking? Because the earrings were thinking, if this Krishna is so clever that he can steal the jewels which are hidden inside, then what to speak of the jewels which are openly visible on the outside? He'll definitely steal us. And the earrings were also thinking that in the Nikunja Leela, the pastimes are such that all the necklaces and ornaments of Braj Gopis get broken and scattered everywhere. So they're trembling, oh, we'll be broken. So much fear. The gopis arrived there, but the thing is this, when the gopis arrived, then Krishna, instead of accepting them, oh, after all this long time, I love you so much. You love me so much and we never had a chance of finally on me. No. Krishna, he's so tribanga. He's so crooked. He's so vakra. He's trivakra. Trivakra, crooked in 3 places. The past, the present and the future. He's always crooked. So when they came, instead of welcoming them, what did he do? Swagatam bo mahabhaga pramkim karvamiva prajasanmayam kachit brutagamar karanam. Welcome to the forest. Why did you come here? Is there a problem in your house? Prajasanmayam kachit, is there some problem in your house? Brutagam, you can tell me, don't be shy. Rajanesha Gorupa, it's a very dangerous night in a very dangerous forest. And I'm a Pakka Brahmachari. So I think that Pratiyata Prajanneha Stayam Sri Vismadima, you should return to your homes because a chaste lady should always serve her husband. And by this she can go to heaven. Those who don't serve their husbands, their future, everything is ruined. And Krishna spoke like this, and gopis, they can't believe it. They've just sacrificed and destroyed their entire life by breaking all the rules, transgressing all the rules of Dharma. For what? Just to please Krishna. And Krishna saying, go home. Their entire intelligence was completely destroyed. Vivek Nash. Buddhi Nash. And it was deliberate. So we have to understand why. Because Pranay Gita is the reply to Krishna's words. Pranay Gita is how gopis are replying to Krishna. So it's necessary to understand why did Krishna do this? And the reason is this. That, you see, in the Venu Gita, everything gopis are saying is avahita bhav. They're hiding their feeling inside. They're not expressing it. And they are speaking in parokshavadi, indirectly. And that is very much sweet and very full of rasa. Just like if a lady is covered with a very fine cloth, somewhat transparent and a bit wet also, then her beauty will peep through the cloth. She's more attractive than if there was no cloth there. But that doesn't mean that sometimes her beloved doesn't want to also remove the cloth. That's another type of beauty. So in the same way, see Krishna, though he relishes the words of Braj Gopis, which are hidden and full of rasa, that doesn't mean that he doesn't want to hear them speak openly, directly. That is a nirlajja vakya. The words without any shame, expressing what they really want. So Krishna wanted to hear this. Just like, do you know why Krishna does Madhupan Lila? Madhupan Lila means honey wine drinking pastime. Krishna gets the goblet of honey wine and he looks like that. Radhika's face is reflected in the golden honey, and seeing Radhika's face, he's already intoxicated. He doesn't even drink, he just looks at the picture, at the reflection of Radhika in the honey. Yeah? Then Krishna, he pretends to drink. This is later. He pretends to drink, so Radhika take, and then Radhika, she's very innocent, so she drinks and then gives to Krishna. Krishna pretends again and then gives to Radhika again. In this way, Krishna gets it because he knows that when she's drunk, the lock, someone's said, usually there's like a lock on her tongue. But if someone's drunk, then the lock comes off. And Radhika will speak in quite a shameless way. And this is nectar for Krishna's ears. It's not often that he can hear such nectar. So Krishna was thinking, if I can speak in such a way that will do buddhinash, destroy their intelligence, then they'll speak very nectarian words in a shameless way to me. It will be beautiful. So this is called Bhag Vilas. There's Vilas, loving play of Radha and Krishna, but then there's also Vag Vilas, loving play of words. So just as in the Vilas of Radha and Krishna, you know that in Swakya mood, the married mood, then the wife has to be in Dakshina Bhav. She has to be submissive to the husband. But in the Parakya mood, then the hero, he's indebted, he owes everything. So he has to be in the Dakshina mood, in the submissive mood. So, and this is Parakya. But Krishna was thinking, yes, I should be in the submissive mood. But sometimes when lover and beloved meet, they have the Viparita Rati, that means they play each other's roles. Viparita Rati. That the male plays the role of female, female plays the role of the male. This is one type of pastime. So here, see, Krishna wants to do Viparati Vagvilas. It's pastimes of speech in its analog as the of Viparita Rati. Yeah? Viparita Vagvilas. Like this. So Krishna thought, I'll be contrary, I'll be Bamya. They have come here, I'll be Bamya, and I'll make them become in Dakshina Bhav and relish the Viparita Vagvilas. So I'll speak words in such a way that have double, triple and quadruple meanings. They will have the Upakshamai Artha, a meaning which is neglecting the gopis and telling them to go home. But in those words there will also be Prathanamai Artha, a meaning where I'm begging them for their mercy. But Braj Gopis, although the two meanings are there, they only hear the Upakshamai Artha, the rejection meaning. Why? Anishta Sankini Bandhu Hridyani Bhavantihi. In the drama Abhigyan Shakuntala Natak by Kalidas, he says this fact that if there's a relationship of intense love, then the lover is always worried about his beloved, that something undesirable might happen. That's the nature of love. Oh, always worried. Oh, what might happen? Did anything bad happen? Yeah? So, you know when you're in India and your mother calls? Yeah? No? I don't know, I don't have a phone. That's why I don't have a phone. So, when there's love, then the fear comes of the worst thing, not the positive thing. So though Krishna spoke words with both meanings, the gopis only took the rejection meaning. And so tears were flowing from their eyes, they were drawing in the dust of Braj with their toenails and looking down. So then gopis, they speak Pranayit. As Krishna had rejected them in 10 verses, gopis cut every single argument of Krishna one by one in 11 verses. So this is Pranayit. Maivam bibohati bhavan gaditam risangsam sanchaja sarva vishayam paruktava padamulam bhakta bhajasya duravagramacha jasman devo yatari purusho bhajate mumukshum yat patu patu suridam anubritiranga Srinam swadharma itidama vidatvayuktam Hastvaitameva upadesha padetvaishe Prasto bhavanstanugitam kila bandhuratma. Oh Krishna, maivam vibhovati. It's not right. It's not just for you to speak such heartbreaking words to us. When we have sanchaja completely given up, sarva vishayam, all vishay, all sense gratification in this world, tavapada mulam, to serve your lotus feet. That means not that we've given up other sense gratification to have sense gratification with you. We've given up all sense gratification and we've come to serve you not for our sense gratification also. We're not looking for any happiness for ourselves whatsoever. We did this just for your happiness. Atmendya prativancha taribalikam, Krishnendya pratiicha tariprema. The desire to please your own senses is lust, but the desire to please the senses of Sri Krishna is praying. So they are telling in a covered way, we have no desire for happiness. Out of pure love, we have come here to serve you. And we heard from Gargacharya, we heard from Purnamasi Devi, that Gargacharya said, Tasman Medolyam Te Narayana Samogunai. You have qualities like Lord Narayan. So Bhagavan always reciprocates with his devotees. Yatamam prapadyante. Tanstataiva bhajaman. Even if they're not his devotees like mumukshu, people who want liberation, they worship Krishna. Muktim dadati kaichitsmana bhakti yoga. He gives them mukti. Krishna reciprocates with them and gives them mukti. And he doesn't get anything from that. What does Krishna get from a jiva who goes into Suyuja Mukti? Nothing. No one gets anything. Jiva doesn't get anything, Krishna doesn't get anything. So gopis are saying, look, Supreme Lord Narayan, he reciprocates even with persons from whom he gets nothing. And we've come to you just to give you everything. You are a very beautiful young boy, and we are millions of beautiful young gopis, and we've just come here to please you. And you should reciprocate with us, because you have qualities like Lord Narayan. So we heard. Good. Huh? But apparently it's not true. So reciprocate with us, otherwise we cannot believe this gossip. That you are like Lord Narayan. Duravagra macha, just don't give us up, don't be Duravagra. Duravagra means a rain cloud that doesn't rain. Right? It's summertime, everyone's hot and sweating. They've had enough of the summer, it's just too much. And then the rainy season's coming, and the big rain cloud comes in the sky, and everyone's looking. And then nothing. Yeah? That's Krishna. They're saying, Krishna, you are like that rain. Shama Sundar, we came to see you, and here we are, and what are you doing? So then Radhika said, Sinchanganas twadadaram ritapurkena asavaloka kalagita charits chayagnim no chetvayam virajagdupayukta deha janena yama padayor padavim sakete. Oh Krishna, you have given us instructions about Dharma. You have told us to follow Dharma. So what about you? You should follow Dharma also. It means that if you go to someone's house and by accident you knock over a candle and set the curtains on fire and the settee, right, and everything's going up in flames, then what should you do? What should a dharmic person do then?
Put it out.
It's their responsibility. They have to put out that fire. So in the same way, we were innocent girls and our romantic love was asleep in our heart. That's why lust is called rich chai, sleeping in the heart, in childhood. It's there, but not manifest. And then when adolescence comes, so Gopi says, by your flute playing, by your words, by your smiling, by your glancing, then you woke up this fire. And this fire has become very big fire spreading everywhere. You have lit this fire, so it's your responsibility, according to Dharma, to put out this fire. I said, how can I put out this fire? How is it possible? Gopi said, this fire is so great, it can only be put out by a flood of Amrita nectar. Krishna said, nectar is very difficult to come by. You know? There were 5 incarnations of the Lord, and all the demons and all the demigods, and they're all churning and sweating, and only one small pot of nectar came. Where will I get an ocean of nectar from? It's very difficult. So Radhika said, there's a flood of nectar in your lips, and by that flood of nectar you should put out the fire you have lit in my heart. Now Krishna is very happy. See, because he'd had enough of this avahita bhav, right? Hiding the feelings, don't say what you mean, and everything. This is why he spoke these cruel words when they arrived. Because he wanted them to... They should spill what they really feel. And he should relish that. So now Krishna was very happy. Radharani said, and if you don't put out this fire in my heart, then nochet vayambir hajagjupayukta deha. Just like Sati. You know, the daughter of Daksha, the beloved of Lord Shiva. In the Yagya of Dakshimar, she sat down and went into meditation, and then spontaneous combustion, she burst into flames. Krishna, if you will not put out this fire in my heart, then this fire will spread, and our bodies will burst into flames. And yam yam vapismam bhavam chajatine antikalevram. In the last moment of life, whatever you think of, you go there. So because we'll be thinking of you, then in our next life we'll come back. And we'll do it again, and in the next life we'll come back and do it again, and we'll keep bursting into flames until you accept us. So Paradim Saketa, you are a Saka, you are our friend. Is this the way a friend treats another friend? Now, the thing is, if the gopis will, being heroines, they'll openly speak in this way, Rasabhas may come. So just as Krishna has spoken with double meanings, so Braj gopis also speak with double meanings. So in another tone of voice, means, oh Krishna, you have lit a fire of calm in our hearts. You see? You can say it. Oh Krishna, you have lit the fire of calm in our hearts. But you can mean, oh, you lit the fire of calm in our hearts? That means we know where the fire of calm is. It's in your heart. And that fire can only be put out by a flood of nectar. And where is that nectar? That is in your lips, Krishna. So, just as a person, if they go to a sweet shop but they have no money, then they're just standing outside looking through the window. What do they do? So gopis are saying, oh Krishna, we have a fire now. No, we know whose heart the fire is in, yours. But I'm sorry. If you want to put out this fire in your heart, you can put it out with the nectar of your own lips. You just stand there and lick your lips. But we're not going to meet with you. Take the nectar of your own lips. So in this way, all the verses that gopis say, though they are begging, but they also have another paksha where they're being contrary to Krishna. So, see, Krishna, he heard all this nectar and he was very, very satisfied. And after the gopis had spoken pranay geets, then Krishna just burst out laughing. I was only joking. Come. And they began the Rasalila. So this, I told you before, you have to understand it about Bridge buses. Everything they say is a lie. Don't believe them. So, why is this Gita called Pranay Gita? Why is it called Pranay Gita? It's very sweet. It's a very sweet subject. Pranay means Vishramba, confidence. That my heart and your heart are one. Our relationship is inseparable, forever. My body and your body are one, my mind and your mind is one, my senses and your senses are one. So when Krishna told them, you have to go home, I'm not going to meet with you, their pranay, their vishramba, their confidence in their loving relationship, though it's like really the first meeting, but the pranay is so strong that they simply cannot accept that that's what Krishna really means. No Shama Sundar. You're saying it, but you don't mean that. In your heart, you don't want that. You want to meet with us, we know, but you're just too shy to say it. So we'll say it to give you the right idea. So gopis are speaking in such a way, thinking Krishna's too shy to say what he wants, but due to pranay, we know what is in his heart, so we're not going, and we'll encourage him to speak in the right way by ourselves saying our desire before him. So this is why it's called the Pranay Gita. Very, very beautiful. So then, it's 8 o'clock. We have to be on time. We'll continue tomorrow. So I'll just continue just a little. Yeah? So then, Krishna was very satisfied and he began the Rasalila. Krishna began playing with the gopis, singing with them, dancing with them, embracing them. But then, Thasam tat sobagamadam vikshamanam chakeshava prasamaya prasadaya tatraya antaradiyata. That the gopis became sobagamada, completely intoxicated. Oh, finally, Krishna's dancing only with me, not with anyone else. Each gopi thought. And Radhika, seeing Krishna was dancing with all gopis, she became in man. There's a special reason for this. She became in man and she frowned her eyebrows. When Krishna saw her frowning, then he panicked and took her by the hand and the two of them disappeared. So then, gopis were searching everywhere. Looking, where is Krishna, where is Krishna? And during that time, Radha Krishna enjoyed their very beautiful Nikunj Vilas, where Sringarvat. Krishna is decorating Radhika at Sringarvat. But then, some feeling came in the heart of Radhika. Very beautiful. She said to Krishna, Tato gatva vanuddeshan dripta keshavam abarvit na parayaham chalitum nayamam yatrate manaha. Krishna was thinking, other gopis may come here and they'll be angry with Radhika. Let me take her more deeply into the forest. So Krishna said, come, let's go more deeply into the forest. But Radhika is the first one to say na parayaham in Rasalila. She said, na parayaham chalitum. I am unable to go any further. So, nayamam yatate mana. Krishna, you can take me wherever you want. Now, there's a beautiful rasa in this. Because rasa, has a sthai bhav. Sthai bhav is Sringaras Madhurati to Krishna. Then there's vibhav, anubhav, satvika bhav, sanchari bhavs. But here the sanchari bhav is Suridrati. Suridrati means the sanchari bhav of love between Sakis. And it nourishes the love for Krishna. So Radhika thought, my Sakis, Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra, Champakalata, Rupa Manjari, Rati Manjari, others, they have given their whole life to me, always serving me. And I've disappeared alone with Krishna. I've been selfish. Now I've enjoyed loving pastimes with Krishna. My Sakis should also come and they should also meet with Krishna. So that is a Suridrati. the century bob of friendship for Sakhis, nourishing Radhika's love for Krishna. And so, but because in Braj, everyone is a liar and they never say what they mean. So Radhika didn't say that. She said, oh, I am tired, I cannot go any further. If you want, you can carry me somewhere like this. But actually, her praying for Krishna was growing due to the nourishment of love for her Sakhis in this moment. Krishna said, oh, step on my shoulder, and then Krishna disappeared. And Radhika cried, Ha Nata Ramana Presta Kwasi Kwasi Mahabhuja Dasiste Kripanayane Sakke Dashaya Sandhiti. Oh Nath, Ha Nata Ramana. This is where Radha Raman got his name from. Oh Ramana Presta, my best beloved. Kwasi Kwasi, where are you? Mahabhuja, with your strong arms that were embracing me. Dasiste Kripanayane. I am your dasi. I am your maidservant. Be kind to me. She heard Krishna as if Krishna was saying, if you are my dasi, my maidservant, then why did you tell me to pick you up and carry you around like you're a princess? So then Radhika Sakke Dashaya Sanghite. Oh Sakha, you treated me so lovingly that I had the feeling you're my friend. And so I spoke in this way. Darshan, Sannidhim, please come back at once and give me your darshan. And then Radhika fainted. She became unconscious. All gopis were wandering here and there. And gradually they came and they saw Radhika. So, those gopis felt separation so much. But Radhika, they did not faint. But Radhika's separation, immediately when Krishna left, she became unconscious. So each and every gopi seeing Radhika, they realized that not only is Radhika superior to us in meeting, right? Because when we're all meeting, Krishna took Radhika alone. Anaya radhito nunam Bhagavan Hari Ishvara Yano Vihari Govinda Prito Yamayadraha. Oh, this girl must have worshipped Bhagavan more than anyone because the cowherd boy Govinda has taken her alone, leaving all of us. So in meeting, she's the best. And now they saw that in separation, her love is the highest as well. And all the Braja Gopis, they felt sympathy for Radhika. Intense sympathy for her. And together, they got up and they came onto the bank of Jamuna and they began to sing. And what they sung, that was Gopi Geet. Now, Venu Geet is in separation and Gopi Geet is in separation. But there's a big difference. Many, many differences actually, we'll discuss tomorrow, but one, just to end, I want to tell one difference that's very important. Though Venu Geet is in Viyog, gopis are in groups. And in those groups they are separate, in their homes here and there. In Pranay Geet, all the groups are there, it's in meeting. And the groups are together and standing on different sides of Krishna, but they're still competing with each other. Because the first 3 verses of Pranay Geet are spoken by one group. The next 3 verses are spoken by another. The next 2 verses by another. And then the next 3 verses by another. Like this. So, they're competing for Krishna's attention. But now, Braj Gopis have seen the intensity of Radhika's Virhabhav. The fire of her separation. They feel Radhika is like a great conflagration. And our separation, we're like fireflies in comparison. So because of this, they feel sympathy for her, even though all the groups are together, they become together in one group and sing together. The example is given usually you can see in Vrindavan there are so many ponds, so many lakes and ponds here that they're all separate. But when the monsoon season comes and it rains so much and there's a flood, then they all become one. So because of the intense separation from Krishna just leaving the Rasalila, there was a flood of prem, and due to that, all became together in one group and now singing together. This is the Vaishishya of Gopi Geet. So, what they said, why they said some these things, we'll continue to discuss. Gopi Geet, Yugal Geet, or Brahma Geet tomorrow. Bole Vrindavan Lal ki jai, Bole Saniwal ki jai. Jai Jai Sri